Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin and it is Saturday, so that means it is time for my weekly roundup. Yay! So weekly roundup is where we talk about my week in crafting. We talk about any whips, works in progress, FOs, finished objects I might have, and we've had some supersized chats recently, and this one's going to be a little supersized too. Sorry, not sorry. Means I'm creating a lot of things and I'm very excited by that. I am now realizing I did not bring my book. I'm going to be honest. First half of the week I didn't really read at all. But last night and the day before, so Thursday and Friday, I read a bunch. So I did actually make good progress. I just don't have it. So no book talk today. Also, no real health news to report, so we're not going to talk about that. So really just crafting today. So, yay! And let's just hop right into the crafting, why don't we? Let's do finished objects first. Okay, so last night, before bed, I did finish Chomps' mandala sweater. So this is, he picked out Chimera and wanted a sweater. I freehanded it. It's a raglan style. I made kind of a ribbed collar. The body is lemon peel stitch. The sleeves are just double crochets. So I color controlled the sleeves so the gradient continued down the sleeves, but I did not try to make it match the body. I can never make that work. So I think it looks nice. He likes it, and that's really all that matters, right? But I love how it turned out. I did the rib at the bottom, the ribs on the sleeves. So I ripped this one out twice and redid it. And I obviously did something wrong because it didn't cinch the way I wanted to. But I can't figure out what I did differently than the first one. So, and obviously I've done it multiple times. So it's just going to stay how it is. And hopefully the next time I make a sweater, I can figure out what I did. But yeah, here it is. I am like ridiculously proud of this because like I said, I just freehanded it. I'm holding it backwards so you're seeing the back seam. With the lemon peel stitch though, you really can't see the seam. So here would be the front. I did leave one end unwoven in, and that's because, I mean, he's a kiddo. He's a first grader. I need to add a clothing tag there so he knows what the back of the sweater is. And so he knows which side is inside out or right side out, you know? Because, I mean, it can be hard for me as an experienced crafter sometimes to tell which side is the right side of the project and which side is the wrong side. I cleaned my glasses this morning. I swear I did. I did. Okay, let's get a drink. I also finished the elephant. So I finished Bingo's elephant. She picked the yarn, she picked the eyes, she makes all those decisions. I just make it and try to sew it together. I think I put the ears a little too high. I followed the directions, but I think I should have gone at least a row, maybe 2 down. But she loves it. She thinks it looks super cute and kind of goofy. There's its little tail. And, I mean, as long as she loves it, that's all I care about. But there she is, the elephant. I have no update on what the final name is going to be. That is using, is it called Sweet Dreams by Stylecraft? It's a yarn that came from the UK. It's a DK weight. And I followed Edward the Elephant pattern from Rebecca Zimmerman's, who's Repeat Crafter Me, book Crochet Cute Critters. This year is my year of amigurumi, so I'm going to always have an amigurumi coming. I do not have the bag or the book with me because it's in my crafting area. Next up, for Chomps, I'm going to make the fox. What else do I have? I have something for Chomps. I completed the Lovey blanket for the dino. So the cherished Lovey now has his hat and his blankie to keep him warm. I love it. It's just a granny square. I made it on a hair tie that I would make scrunchies with, so he can easily get it on and off as the dino needs it. I mean, in the middle of summer, he might not need its blankie, right? Final, no, not final. I have 3 Addie hats. So I used, yes, because I showed one last week. I used all the leftover wool from my felted bag to make hats. So these are 100% wool hats using Peyton's classic wool. This one is natural mix. This works beautifully on the Addie. I just cranked. I did not have to babysit it or watch for tucked or skipped stitches. It worked smooth as silk. That's kind of a kid-sized hat. That's maybe in between. This one, the red one, is definitely a kid-size hat. And this colorway is just bright red. Again, it's the Peyton's Classic Wool Worsted. And then this is an adult size. It's a little oversized, but I just cranked till I ran out of yarn. And this one is dark gray mix. It's beautiful. I figured it could just be somebody who wants a slouchy hat, or if you just want a thicker, wider brim, you know, whatever the person who gets it desires, they can do. So those are some more hats I'm going to put for donation. I should get tags though that mark those as 100% wool, just so people know, right? Okay, now we have my final finished object. I did finish it, and yes, Heather the Crochet Witch, she went and got this. That is the colorway I'm using, a Fruit Punch. For the blanket I'm going to show you, it used exactly 3 cakes. If you're curious, I chained 219 from that pattern to get what I got. And I used a 5.5mm crochet hook. I think you could have very easily chained 201 and had a great size blanket as well. For bingo, I think the 3 cakes is perfect. If I were making it for me, I would have used all 4 cakes. So, all of that is to preface this blanket. It is Free Your Inspirations pattern for the Wavy Granny Crochet Blanket. It calls for, it's like a 5 or a 6 weight yarn. Oh, it doesn't say. Bernat Pot Bulky. Bulky would generally mean a 5 weight. But sometimes they mess with you. Like I had a baby yarn that was called like Baby Sport. And baby or sport normally means a 2 weight, but that was a 3 weight yarn. It worked beautifully with, it was a Bernat yarn, and it like exactly matched Lion Brand ice cream. I used them together. It was beautiful. It worked wonderfully. But that's not this blanket. This is made with skinny cakes. This one's skinny cakes, but, so that's why I told you what I actually used on this blanket, because I basically took the stitch, like it was a stitch tutorial, and made a different blanket. But it's a beautiful blanket. Oh, it's got some tinsel, probably from Easter, stuck to it. I'm going to hold it up quartered. So this is folded in half and then folded in half again, just to kind of give you an idea of the blanket. You know, I should probably undo the whole thing. It is a good size blanket with the 3 cakes. Like I said, if I had made it for myself, I like blankies to be pretty big. So I would have probably done the 4 cakes. But let's see. So it's touching the floor and it's touching my nose. Okay, so the blanket from the floor touches my nose. I'm 5. They took 1.5 inches from me. I am 5'6.5" now, according to the stupid doctors. But then I was like, wait a second, you've taken like 1.5 inches. And then the nurse was like, oh, you're not the first person to say that. And then she measured herself and she was like, yeah, maybe the ruler's wrong. And then she didn't even try to correct it on my chart. So I think I'm going to give them 1 inch. So I can say I'm 5'7" now, but I'm not giving them the 1/2 inch. I'm keeping it. So, that's not 7 inches. I don't know, maybe that's 5'2", 5. It's a little over 5 foot long with the 3 cakes at those dimensions. I am doing an absolutely horrible job showing it to you. I forgot Sophie. Duh! Okay, I'm not going to go get Sophie. This is a bizarro podcast. Sorry about that. I did finish section 8 of Sophie. I just had to finish one more round. I did that. I have printed off section 9. I need to photograph section 8 before I start section 9 because I'm trying to document each section. But, so that's your Sophie update. Sophie's Universe. This is the wavy granny stitch blanket. I love it. I had a lot of fun. This is a great, easy, I'm watching TV, I'm chit-chatting. It's like once you get the repeat going, it's smooth sailing. Shannon, this would be a great project for the way you've been feeling lately with the, I just want autopilot projects. It's an autopilot project. Those are all my finished objects. Okay, shall we move on to whips, works in progress. Right in front of me, I have Spectre. I am using my Ginger Snap Yarn Advent Calendar from 2023 to make Spectre by Hohi Locatelli. This is a paid pattern. I got it off of Ravelry. I am just starting my 3rd mini skein. These are 20-gram mini skeins. They have approximately 92 yards per. I am coming to the end of section 2 of the sweater. It's on, I'm using Magic Loop. I hate Magic Loop, but I hate constantly changing cords more. So that's why we're doing Magic Loop. I picked a gigantic jumbo needle so I can actually try it on these needles. But here, it's all scrunched. But here, nope, I'm showing you the wrong side of the work. Yes, I am. Here's the right side of the work. I have finished the collar and kind of a bunch of the yoke and done the first set of the bud stitches. So there you go. So because it's all scrunched together, I don't feel like you can see it. But when I like stretch it out to look at it, I can see it in person. Oh, I think you can see it. I think you can see it. They're fun little, they look kind of like tulipy flower buds, which makes me happy because it's spring. I don't want to pull too hard because I don't want to lose the live stitches. Okay, that's there. It's because I'm holding this backwards to me that I can't figure it out. There we go. I am so excited with the progress on this. My goal is to do at least a round a day. Most days I'm getting 2 in, but yeah, I have 4 more rounds in section 1, which will include the first 3 increases. And then we do a chart for section 4. And then, no, I'm sorry. Section 3 is a chart. And then we divide for the body and sleeves. I did decide, and I bought some extra cords and stoppers for this. I'm going to work the sleeves and the body at the same time. So I don't have to like weigh out and portion out the yarn and try to remember what order it went into when I get back to the sleeves. So basically my goal is I'm going to get to that point and I'm going to see about how many rows a mini skein is getting me, and I'll do maybe that many rows for the sleeve, and you know, we might have to fudge it a little bit, but we'll have what feels to me as a close enough fade down the sleeves to match the body of the work. That's my hope. That's my plan right now. Obviously, I'm pretty far away from getting to the splitting for the sleeves, but I wanted to make sure I had the supplies so it wasn't a stopping point. And really all I needed to do was buy 1 cord because I already had a cord. And then I'm going to just use my interchangeable needles. And then 1 set of the small cord stopper thingies. So for the Chow sets, they're like these little blocks where you can remove the needle tips and screw it in, and it acts like a needle stopper so your stitches don't fall off. So I don't have to keep pulling it on and off of like try-on cord or waste yarn or anything, and to make it maybe just a little bit smoother. It was an indulgence that Brian agreed with, and that's really all that matters. It was probably around 20 bucks to get those extra supplies, so not that bad in the long run. And then I'll have that for the future, because the length of cord I got is the perfect cord for hats. So now I can have like more than one hat going at the same time if I wanted to. Okay, what else do I have going on? I have this bag. This bag houses 2 projects. I have my, I'm doing the Mystery Yarn Challenge with Lori, Armchair Chef. I am doing whips, and I have sent out my yarn. So I send yarn to somebody, but I work on whips. And I found 4 errant whips that were hiding in a pile of what I thought was scrap yarn in my craft room here. I was tidying up. No, they were projects. I felt really bad when I found them, but that's okay. So this is, it's called Adult Slouchy Shell Stitch Hat. And do I have my phone with me? I forget who designed it. It's on my phone. It's on their blog. I have like 5 missed text messages. If you're trying to text me, I'm sorry. Kirsten Holloway Designs. Kirsten, K-I-R-S-T-N, Holloway, H-O-L-L-O-W-A-Y, Designs. Oh, my goodness, you've got like a trillion pop-up ads coming up. Kirsten Holloway Designs. Is there a better picture of the hat? It's in a bowl. Okay. Such a small picture. Can I expand? I can! Okay, so that's what the hat is going to look like. It matches some fingerless gloves I made for, I believe, it was either September or November. Based on when, it must have been September. For things we're making Thursday in September. It was from Hooked by Robin, the pattern was. I made the mitts, and I made a infinity scarf, like a short infinity scarf long cowl to match. And then I had one skein of yarn left, and Crystal from Hook That Yarn, I almost called her Hillary, and I don't know why. Crystal from Hook That Yarn had found this hat pattern, and I thought, I'll just complete the set. Started the brim, put it in a bag, and forgot about it. But anyway, so I'm this far on the hat now, but this might come to a bit of a halt, because as I said, I only had one skein of yarn, and this is how much I have left. I went to Joann's. We have 2 in town. Neither have this colorway in stock. So I did place an order online for Joann's. Bought a couple of things. You know how they ship in sections. I placed this order probably 4 days ago. And like, I'll see section, you know, little portion gets shipped off 1 ball at a time. This yarn has not been shipped out yet. And I'm getting so nervous that they're going to say, sorry, out of stock, and not send it. Oh, but it's Lion Brand Landscapes, so if worse comes to worse, I went to Joann's because it was cheaper there than at lionbrand.com. If worse comes to worse, I'll check out lionbrand.com and try to finish this. But I might have to pause it if the yarn doesn't come in time. I've been kind of slow playing it because if you saw my video where I opened a box of yarn that I had pulled out of storage, I got so excited because I've been wanting to make MJ's Off the Hook. I think it's called Granny Pop, but with a V-neck. It might have a different name. But anyway, I so wanted to make that, and I wanted to make it with mandala tweed stripes yarn. And I had 3 balls sitting in this room where I knew I had more of it somewhere in storage, and I was waiting for it to show up. Some was in that box, but it was a different colorway. But I'm just going to shift gears because that should be enough to make the sweater. So I'm going to use that yarn. It's called Dragonfly. But I've made a promise to myself that I will not start a new project until I complete 3 of the things I had already had going at the beginning of the month. So, thing 1 was Chomps's mandala sweater. Thing 2 is that skinny cake blanket. And the elephant doesn't count because that's going to just be, it's a revolving project. It's not taking anything off my plate. I'm going to move into the fox. The Lovey Blankie doesn't count because that's a craft room project. That's something I just work on here. It's an easy, mindless project while I am editing videos. So that doesn't count. What would count is this hat. If I finish Spectre, I'm not going to finish Spectre in time, or one of 2 other projects. The things we're making Thursday cowl, which I'm not going to show you, or the next project I'm going to show you, which is my project for the Krafting Kitty Creator Spotlight. Okay, update. I have received multiple emails from the winners. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've got your email. I'm going to look to resolve those today and get it out. So for the Expression Fiber Arts, I believe everyone's good. Also, I have gotten comments from a person on at least 3 of the videos, and I have responded to it, but even after I've responded, I see the comment come back on a new video. So if you've won from me, I try to make it clear in the video, but and I've responded to the person each time with the instructions, but just to make it 100% clear, if you win something from me, I can't contact you. YouTube doesn't give me that ability. So I announce it in the video, and then you need to email me at KraftingKitty@gmail.com. That email address is in the description box of every single one of my videos. It's a part, I copy and paste it to everything. So it'll always be down in the description box. Please email me at KraftingKitty@gmail.com. I'm not trying to short you on prizes. I think I know what you won. So I'm holding on to it, but I can't reach out to you. You have to reach out to me through my email, and that's how I'll get your information, okay? So don't panic. I have it. I have the prize. I need you to contact me at KraftingKitty@gmail.com. The name of my channel, all one word, KraftingKitty@gmail.com. Okay, so I went a little bit meandering there. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be condescending or rude. I'm just trying to state it as hopefully clearly as I can. I hope that made sense. And if it doesn't, certainly reach out again and I'll try to explain it again. And if anybody is friends or knows the individual, if you could help them, I would appreciate it. I don't personally know them. It's not someone who's won from me before. Anyway, so this is for April's Krafting Kitty Creator Spotlight. I make an item for one of the prizes. I made this wrap. It will be sent out shortly. And this month it's Krista at the Secret Yarnery. And I am making her cakes and candles. She calls it a 1-ball shawl. It uses a DK 3-weight yarn. It's not really sided, but I think this side looks a little prettier. So here we go. This is how far I am in that. She uses a ice yarn magic light, maybe something like that. I don't have that, but I had some of this Kitty's Signet Signet Yarn Kitty's Collection Anti-Pilling DK from the Wool Warehouse. It has slightly less yardage than her ice yarn, but I have 2 of them. So I'm just going to make this so it uses both of my yarn skeins, and it'll be a little bigger than her one ball shawl, because I got about, it was off by like 20-30 yards. So it's going to be basically 2 balls. So slightly bigger. It's colorway Alfie, A-L-F-I-E, 4144. And this is so soft. This is a joy to work with. It's beautiful. And I love how it's working up here. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's so pretty. There we go. So I am excited. And this, once you get into it, it is a very easy repeat to remember. And I don't have to keep referring back to the tutorial because it's all in my noggin, and I can hear Krista in my head like, this is a cake row, this is a candle row, and I know what that means. I'm just using my Susan Bates 5mm aluminum hook for this. Oh, the hat, I'm again following the pattern. So at the beginning I used a 3.75mm. The pattern calls for a 3.25. I didn't have that, but I had a 3.75. And so that's for the brim here. For the body, I'm using 5.5mm. I am so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, hopefully next week I'll have a finished hat for you because the Joann's order will ship. But if it doesn't ship, I can't finish it. I can't do it. I can't work with yarn I don't have. Okay, take a deep breath and a drink. Okay, next I have my Aberdeen Wool's Pickle Jar project. What? So I bought a pickle jar from Aberdeen Wool's on Black Friday, and I decided I was going to make first the classic cowl, then buy a refill and do the bias scarf because it comes with 2 patterns and a set of circular needles. And my goal has been to put one of the minis on each week, and I have of course added my mini for this week. I think it merges beautifully from last week's yarn. I just think this is so fun. It's like a scrappy, happy, beautiful project. This is fingering weight yarn, but you're using a 4mm knitting needle, which is a US 6, which is, yeah, it's US 6, yes, because 7 is 4.5. It's a larger needle than I would normally use for a fingering weight yarn, but I think it's working up lovely and drapey and gorgeous. And we have been picking the next color to go in. It is the Jar of Fate. I don't look. I hold it up. It's 11 a.m. No, it's noon. That's the test of the siren. It is not a severe weather warning if you can hear that. Okay, let's see what our next color is. Look away! Put my arm in! What is it going to be? Oh, it's the orange one! I thought I was going to get orange last week, but I didn't. So, orange this week. Put this back here. So here we go. This week, here you go! Here you go! La la! Laura, Madam Mimi. Orange is coming! Oh, I have to add this to my yarn label stash. It's the Chimera from Chomps' sweater. And I'm excited. I have 3 more labels from that Patton's yarn. For my yarn labels, I don't claim them until every scrap of that yarn I can possibly use has been used. So, I've made projects this year that haven't used all the yarn, so I don't put that yarn on my spreadsheet. I only claim the yarn when it's completely gone. So, like I said, I've claimed so far over 60 labels, which is amazing, and I have holes in my walls, and that box that I opened still didn't fill all the holes. So I do have that Joann's order coming. I'm going to see how that fills the holes, and then we'll go from there. I'll decide if I'm going to pull another box out or not. But I did have fun filming that, so I think I'll keep filming it as I pull those out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I broke my fingernail, and now I'm in a world of hurt here. I don't want to snag my yarn projects. Okay, I realized I forgot to show this project last week. Last year was my year of socks, and I decided I was going to just always have a sock on the go. It kind of fell to the sock being a project that I work on while I put the kids to sleep. So that tradition has continued. So I am working on the second sock in a pair. Here's my first one. Completed the first sock. The second sock, I will show you shortly. Oh, this doesn't even have the name of the pattern on it because I'm on like page 3. The name of the pattern I'm following is Go Your Own Way. It is a free pattern from Knit Picks. This pattern was suggested to me by Linda, who's Lit Knits on the YouTubes. She has the best pattern suggestions. You guys, I love it when, you know, you kind of hook up with someone with similar tastes and you can kind of bounce ideas off each other and send it. It's perfect. I love it. She's never led me astray. But I have finished, so it's a toe up sock. The instructions have cuff down and toe up. I've never done a toe up sock, so I decided to follow the toe up instructions. So I started at the toe. I've done all of that. I've done the heel turn, completed the gusset, completed the heel flap, and now I'm just on the straightaway. So I'm doing the leg of the sock, and I do the leg of the sock for 4.5 inches. I'm roughly 2 inches in. This is marking the end of the heel flap, so I know where to measure to when I measure it. But yeah, I'm about 2 inches in, so I've got about 2.5 inches to go, and then do a 10 round 1x1 rib in my cast off, and this will be done. There is a good chance you will see a finished pair of socks next week. I'm not promising, but there's a good chance this gets done next week. I am so excited. And then I'll get to start a new pair of socks. Yay! And that is my last whip I have to show you. That didn't... Oh, it did take a while, didn't it? Nah! Sorry. Not sorry. I'm excited. I made a lot. I feel accomplished. Let me know what you guys are making. I love to hear all about that. And yes, if you guys suggest a pattern to me, I go look it up. It doesn't hurt to add anything to your Ravelry favorites. It's a big list. It only gets promoted to my library when I decide I'm going to make it. It's down on the kitchen table. Shan and I did find the Plumose sweater, and because Bingo has convinced me it must be made, and Brian and I were talking last night. I'm going to try to go to LYS Day, which is April 27th. So I think I'm going to take that pattern with me and go see if I find yarn at the shop that speaks to me to make that pattern. So we'll see. If you don't know what I'm talking about there, you probably wouldn't, because it was a comment I made on Shannon's video. Shannon was wearing a beautiful sweater she had made. It's purple and kind of whitish, maybe creamish. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous yoked, like Fair Isle, stranded color work yoked sweater. Bingo was watching with me and she's like, oh, Mommy, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. You need to make that, Mama. I mean, how can you say no? And the sweater's beautiful. So, it's a win-win. I guess I could make, like, the smallest version and try to make it for her. Or I can make it for myself. Those are decisions to make in the future. I got lots of other things stewing before I ever get to that. But, so, my goal is to finish one more project between that hat, the Things We're Making Thursday cowl, which isn't going to be finished next week at all. There is a chance that that shawl from Krista gets finished this week. It is like autopilot. It goes so fast. We'll see. No promises, but once I finish that, then I am going to pop on to that MJ's Off the Hook. But that still should leave me 2 projects less, you know? So things are moving off of the whips with a little trickle coming back in. We gotta keep the new stuff coming, don't we? Okay, I'm gonna stop blibber blabbering. I'm gonna get to editing so I can upload this, and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye! Oh, no, I'm not going to say bye. Last night, I got an email from Premier Yarns. It was like, value bag extravaganza, deep discounts this weekend. If you like the Momenti yarn from Premier, which I hadn't bought a lot of it because I thought it was a bit prohibitively expensive, they have bags of it on sale for such a bargain. It's a bag of 3 for $15, 1.5. It is $5 a piece for that yarn. That's like less than 50% off because it's like $11.99. It's like, that's like crazy to me. Some places that you can kind of, like Hirschner's, I can usually see it for $8.99. But if you love the Momenti yarn, go check out Premier. It's, I think they said this weekend, but it's going to be while supplies last and all that stuff. And they have all sorts of other value bags at like $7.99. 400 ounces of this mill end, $7.99. And they've got like 2-3 pages of this stuff. Check it out. Phenomenal. You might see a Premier haul soon. Okay, bye-bye.